little bit of history. This rod. Okay, so when we first decided on our theme for this convention to honor James Kaulia and wanted to do ceremony at his gravesite, we had to find it first. We went across to Nu'uanu Cemetery because that's where Ron Williams told me he was, and he's not there. And so we came across the street and they found him. He's in here, but he has no headstone. In fact, generations of Kaulia are in here, but we don't know where he is in particular. So one of our thoughts was to, at some point, obviously not now, create a headstone similar to the one for William Punahou White for here. But we didn't have enough time. Couldn't do it this time. So he's in here someplace. Linda and I came by yesterday to put a marker, temp marker, until such time as we can actually do something. That's a little history about why we're here and how come we know he's here.
James Keauiluna Kaulia was born on August 16, 1860 in Hui Aloha, North Kona to George W. Laioha and Eva Keauiluna Laioha. When James was 3 years old, his parents were called to serve as missionaries in the Marquesas Islands, and James was adopted by G. Ahia and his wife, Mikala Keauiluna Ahia, who we believe was the sister of James' mother, Eva. Mr. and Mrs. Ahia and James moved to Honolulu when he was 8 years old, where James attended Kauai District School and Keauiluna School. In 1879, when James was 18, his mother, Mikala Ahia, remarried Asa Kaulia, and James became Asa Kaulia's adopted son and carried the name Kaulia from there on. So that same year, at the age of 18, James married Mariah Malaihi of Heia, Oahu, and together they had 7 children. Only one of their 7 children lived to adulthood, a son, James Keaumali o Kalani Kaulia. As a young father, James Kaulia started work as a po'ola, stevedore, then as a carpenter, a painter, and later studied law while working in the sheriff's office in Hilo under J.L. Kauluko. When Joseph Navahi founded Hui Aloha ʻāina, the Hawaiian Patriotic League, after the overthrow in 1893, James served under him as secretary of the league. After the death of Joseph Navahi in 1896, James Kaulia was elected president of the league and led the Ahahui in the massive Kue petition drive of 1897 that successfully stopped the annexation of Hawaii to the United States. On September 6, 1897, the Hui Aloha ʻāina held a mass meeting at Iolani Palace Square, now the parking lot of Ali'iolani Hale. James gave a rousing speech before hundreds of Po'e Aloha ʻāina who were gathered there that day. So now we're going to do part of the speech, very small part. It's probably going to take maybe a minute and a half. So since I am saying this, the only audience participation that Lei has put in there is when the question is asked, where will we live? Yeah, where will we live? The crowd is going to shout, you guys know this? In the mountains, okay? That's the only part. So this is Kaulia's speech. E o mai hoa maka'ainana. Ua kahea ia kako e ako'akoa mai I ke ia ahiahi mamulio ke kahi ni nao I kama'aina loa ia kako I loko ona makahiki e ha I hala a'ene. My countrymen, we have been called to gather this evening regarding a question that we have all become too familiar with these past 4 years. From the time that our government was overthrown, this question of the annexing of Hawaii to the United States of America. And the answer to this question remains in the hands of the people whose land it is. We have an independent government that was formed by the Kamehamehas, who are now at rest. And the right that they sought to build an independent government is the reason for our happiness today. The independence that our beloved Ali sought as a rightful inheritance for the Lahui Hawaii of which I speak is what they, the provisional government, desire to take away. Agreeing to annexation would be like agreeing to be buried alive. Annexation will open the door to many foreigners who will come to our islands and will take our jobs and the resources we need to live. then where will we live?
In the mountain.
If we remain steadfast in protest of annexation, the Senate can continue to strive until the rock walls of Iolani Palace crumble, and Hawaii will never be annexed to America. The annexationist newspapers have published threats that the leaders of this gathering will be arrested for treason, but our assembly is legal. The wrongful government cannot outsmart us, so they resort to weapons of war to defeat us. But I say to you, e lawe kako I ke kahua hanahano o kapaio. Let's take up the honorable struggle, brain to brain, and the time will come when the weapons of war will fail. No laila, mai maka'u. E kupa'a ame Keauloha I ka ʻāina a e lo kahi make e mana'o. E ku'e lo aku I ka ho'ohui ia o Hawaii me America. Ahike I ke aloha ʻāina hopelua. Do not be afraid. Stand firm in your love for this land, and let us be united in this thought. Protest forever the annexation of Hawaii to America until the very last aloha ʻāina. James Kaulia served his country and Lahui diligently until his passing in 1902. On that day, a Sunday, he spent the morning at the jailhouse trying to help prisoners assert their rights. After church, he laid down for a nap, which he never awoke. He died of heart failure on April 20th, 1902 at the age of 41. And is buried here besides members of his family. There's no headstone to mark his grave. That's probably going to be one of the things that we're going to work on, getting someday soon. But his courage, his love for Hawaii, and his unwavering commitment to our independence has sealed his name in our memory and our hearts forever. Mahalo, palena ole, ia o e Kaulia.
Mahalo. Kapuana, o ka po'e